Hi everyone, welcome back to Resin with me. I am Brandy, and so this is something that I have been wanting to do or to try for a long time. I am going to try this stained glass technique that I've seen it on a few other channels, but the main one that I like to watch is LiaDia Designs. She's super creative, always just has like the most beautiful pieces. So yeah, that's where my inspiration is coming from. And you can see I cannot freehand stuff, so I have printed out some outlines of flowers. I want to go with like some fall colors. So yeah, I've printed out some outlines and just put those underneath the mold. I do have a little bit of clear already poured in here, so you can hear that. They're about halfway full of clear. And I'm going to go in first and just start outlining with the Pebeo pewter. This is pewter. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and get started on that. And then we'll get into more of like the colors and all the pretty stuff next. Alright, so there is our first flower. It is our lily. It's probably the only flower I know of, of these. So yeah, I'm going to do that for all of these. I'm also going to come in and add some sections where we're going to put in our other colors. And there's not really going to be any specific placement. It's just going to be however... wherever I think like a good spot will be. I might also add some leaves. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do that, just because there is a decent amount of open space, but that's also more space for, you know, just more colors. I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide. I can't decide on it. But I'm just gonna start putting in my extra lines and see how I feel about leaves. Alright, so I'm finished with that, and so I decided not to go with the leaf because once I just kind of got into the rhythm of putting all the squiggly lines, I didn't want to stop. So the flower, the lily, is going to be like an orange color, and then in these other blank spaces I will put like just kind of a very, very faint color, pretty much clear, since the idea with stained glass is that it's colored but you can see through it. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to do the same process for the rest of these, trace the flower, and then add in my squiggly lines wherever, I think just wherever they can go. Alright, so here are the flowers all outlined, and I think they look pretty good. I'm excited to get the color in there. So what we have to do now is just go ahead and let the outliner set up and get dry. And then after that's done, then we can come back and fill in the colors, fill in the flowers, and the, you know, the sections outside of those. But yeah, I'm excited. I think they're already starting to look so good. So I will meet y'all right back whenever this is dried and ready to add some color. Alright, so our liner has set up. It was a fairly thin layer, so it did set up pretty quickly. I've got my DuraClear satin varnish here, and I think I'm going to try mixing it with some pearlescent pigment dyes from Let's Resin. Again, I've never tried this technique before, so I'm just, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm really doing this from a pretty beginner level. So we'll see how easy or how difficult it is. I've got probably a little too much because I'm going to do 4 different colors. So I was thinking like just fall color, so like a golden yellow, oranges, reds, maroons. So those are the colors that I'm going to try to get. I'm going to mix and match, and once I get the colors all finished, I'll come back and let you know like what color I put into which to achieve the final color for the flowers. Alright, so I've mixed up all of my colors. You can see I've got a pretty golden yellow, this reddish orange color. I've got a dark purpley red. And you can see I got there are little flecks of something. I don't know for sure what it is. I think it came from the pearlescent dye, so maybe these are not the best options to use. I just wanted that pearlescent effect, so I'm going to try when I get the liquid out I'm going to try to avoid getting those little flecks in there. But yeah, I guess maybe just go with a regular dye next time. And then we've got a purpley color. So for golden color, I used these 3, the yellow and orange pearlescent dyes, and then the alcohol ink in yellow. All of these are Let's Resin, and this is the highly concentrated tint, or alcohol ink, sorry, alcohol ink. For the orange, I used a little bit of red, pearlescent dye, and then the orange pearlescent dye, and a little bit of the orange alcohol ink. For my reddish color, I used a lot of the red in the pearlescent dye and the alcohol ink. And then for the purpley color, I used purple and rose red pearlescent dyes and the red alcohol ink. I did end up pouring out some of the varnish because I just had way too much, so it was taking a lot of the dyes to color it. So I poured some out, plus I just don't think that I really needed that much for these small areas. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna use this silicone brush because after a few uses, when I use a regular brush, the bristles will harden even though I do wash them. I just can't get all of it out, and so I thought maybe with this I can avoid having to buy so many sets of brushes. But we will try this. I'm nervous to, to do this. I don't know why. Alright, so the first flower is done. Well, you know, the flower part, not this extra stuff out here, but I think it's beautiful so far. I love it. I really wanted to do like a blending effect. That's why I did all of the different colors, not, you know, one for each flower, but just to have this blending. Oh, it looks so pretty. I love it. And I love fall colors, so that's why, it's probably why I really, really like them, because I just love them, love the colors. But I do see a couple of spots that I can probably add a little bit more color, so I will do that. All right, but yeah, I really like them so far. Very pretty. All right, so I'm gonna do the rest of the flowers first, and then we can work on the outside pieces. Alright y'all, so here are all of the flowers. I absolutely love them. I love how they turned out. I'm very happy with them. And you can see like some of this blending, it just, I mean, you can hardly even tell. Like you see the darker red in the center, but there's no like harsh line. I think this one you can see a little bit more of it, but it's still, I think it's still blended really nicely. This one I had more of the what was it, the purplish color, and you can see like some of those flecks in there. I couldn't avoid them, so they are in there. Yeah, not my favorite, but I think it'll still look okay. This one I just did, so I don't think the two colors have blended all the way yet. I'm hoping that they blend a little bit more, but I guess we'll see. I mean, it still looks really nice regardless. I like having those brighter edges. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead. I think you could realistically fill in the rest of it if you wanted to. I'm just gonna go ahead and let these dry up just because my battery's running low, so I need to charge it. And I will be back. We're gonna add some glitter into all of these other edges, into these empty spaces, and make it look so pretty. So I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I have got these all set up. I did go back and I felt like after the first addition of all of the colors and stuff, I felt like it was a little too translucent for my liking, and that they are supposed to be translucent. Again, they're supposed to be like stained glass, so you're supposed to be able to see through them, but they were just a little too translucent. So I did go back and add another layer of the colors to each of the flowers, and because of that and because my lines were also originally very thin, the color started to cover the lines, so I also went back and added the lines again, because you could still see them, but with the color covering it, you couldn't see like the metallic look, which is what I really, really wanted. So yes, I went back over everything again. So I guess my recommendation or suggestion, my lesson learned for next time would be to go ahead and just make the lines thick in the first place, so that way you can add more color from the beginning and not have to go over everything twice, or again, a second time. All right, so now for these empty spaces, we are ready to fill those up with some color. And since I didn't add leaves, I thought that maybe I can use some green to kind of, you know, just give that leafy look. I'll also do some white to keep it kind of neutral aside from the fall colors and the green. And then also do a little bit of silver druzy mica powder from Meyspring, and that is to also kind of stay neutral but not have 3 different glitters, just have something that gives a little bit of a different look. It's going to be, I think, similar to the flowers, but I think it might be it might have more shimmer because it's a mica powder. Again, this is my first time doing all this, so I don't know exactly what everything's gonna look like, but let's go ahead and get started. So I've got 3 more little cups, got my varnish again. Alright, so I've got all of my colors mixed up, and I didn't add too much glitter or too much of the mica powder because I do still want to keep that translucency. So we'll go ahead and get started with these two first. Since I originally did these two first, I think they'll be the driest, the most set up. It's only been a couple of hours. So yeah, anyway, and this one, I accidentally, after I added that second layer, I dropped it. Ugh. So some of the liner you can see like got off, like went to the side. So yeah, at least I'm covering that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, you guys, so there we are. I've added my colors to this first one. I did spill some gray into this green glitter that I tried to pick out, so I'm just going to go back and fill it with the glitter. And I'm sure some of you are like, oh no, why did she use a really bright green glitter? I did think about using a darker one. I just feel like, though, since I'm trying to make these more translucent, I didn't really know how a dark one would look. So I just decided, I made the decision to go with light this time, and we'll see how they turn out. And you know, if they don't look that great, then next time I'll know. I'll try a darker one. But you know, this is what I went with, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish these off camera. For the gray, the silver druzy, I did add more of the varnish just because I really want to make sure that it is translucent once the varnish dries. And it's such a dark color that I just wanted to be on the safe side. And I don't know if I added too much. Again, we will see at the end. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish these off camera. Just doing the same thing with the same colors. But you can see, I think they're going to be very pretty. And you can see kind of underneath. Well, maybe not. Well, kind of. You can see. And hopefully once the colors dry, you'll be able to see as well. I think you kind of can. But yes, I'm excited for these to be done and see how they turn out. And I will be back once I've added the colors to the rest of these. I'm going to add some more clear resin on top to seal everything in. And then we can unmold. Alright, you guys, so I've got them out of the molds, and they are so gorgeous, so pretty. I'm so happy with them. But you can see my hand through there, so it's definitely got that transparency. I'm very happy with the green. I wasn't sure, you know, I mentioned that I didn't know when I first placed it on. But they are so beautiful. And there was a little bit of like trimming that I'll need to do. Let me find. So like right there, there's a little bit of trimming that I'll need to do on these. But and then I think I'm gonna go in with a silver pen and just do an edge on these. But they are gorgeous, so beautiful. I am very happy with how these turned out. That's Charlie drinking her water. Gorgeous. Oh, I love them. I love them. I cannot get enough of them. They're beautiful. All right, so yes. Oh, and then I made this little bracelet too. Let's see if you can get it focused. So I actually made this with washi tape. So I put it in a, where is it? One of the bangle molds. I just put the washi tape in there and then poured the resin. And I think that this came out really nicely too. Super pretty. That's a scratch from Petrie. But yeah, I'm overall, I'm just so happy with these. I cannot wait to like make some more in other designs and, you know, different colors. Oh, I love them so much. But like I mentioned at the beginning, this is something that Nadia from LiaDia Designs really specializes in. Her pieces are absolutely stunning, so I do recommend that you go watch her videos, because I am definitely not the expert. I was just inspired by her videos and wanted to try this out, and I love it. It's beautiful. All right, you guys, so Thanksgiving is tomorrow for those of us in the US, so if you watch this today or tomorrow on Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. And I hope, yeah, I should actually get started on some Christmas themed stuff next. And then of course, just any other custom orders maybe that come in, I will be sure to include you guys on. But overall, I'm very happy with this video, my latest pieces. So I hope that you will come resin with me on my next video. Have a great day, y'all.